I've been talking to myself for the last 2 minutes because I didn't press the go live button on the software. Amazing that when you press the go live button, it actually makes you talk to the world. Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View, who does have 18,214 subscribers. We do have that, and I thank every single person that has subscribed to the channel. To 18,214 is a fantastic number. We are trying to get to the 20,000 before the end of the year, because I think that would be a fantastic target to achieve. And when I look at the stats and see how many people don't actually subscribe to the channel that watch the videos compared to the ones that do, so make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Let's try and hit 500 thumbs up on this video also. Right, we are right. Before we head into anything, what we do on this channel, if you haven't been on the channel before, everyone's been on the channel before, come on. I love Jota, but it won't happen. Right, let's jump in. Boy for Benny Offer. Just been reading that Rennes are looking to take Jota. If they can afford him, it's far-fetched. I would take him back. What's your thoughts on this one? Jota will not be getting paid 200 grand a week in France. Not a chance. He won't be getting paid 200 grand a week. I need a light over this way that doesn't fucking blind me. That's too bright. I need one on this side, so the screen. Maybe if I put maybe if I make the screen actually white rather than black. Give me 2 seconds. Screen settings. Oh, you need to go into it and do it, don't you? Yeah, I need to change the screen settings, I think. Old age, man. Old age. Desmond Donnelly says I would take Jota in a New York minute. I got the feeling a few signings will be released tomorrow for the stock exchange or Monday. Celtic are playing an awfully waiting game. We are on the 22nd. We still have a few days left. We've got 8 days left in the transfer window. But Wex says, if O'Reilly and Kyogo are going, I wish it would just happen so we can replace them. I hope they go before deadline day so that we get a replacement. And listen, Celtic have already said, no matter what happens with Matt O'Reilly, they're going to improve the squad. They're going to spend millions, 8 million, I'm hearing, on this Polish guy from Mateus from the American League. Right, I'm going to jump through the comments for now. Wex says, done that. Gareth Williams says, hail from Bedfordshire. Chilpill says, I'd love Jota back, but it won't happen. Hazel says, evening all. Stephen Johnson. Make sure your love is known to Stephen Johnson. Stephen is one of our amazing, amazing people that follow this channel who has limited abilities, and he can only reply with emojis. So give your love to Stephen on the channel, because I think it's important to be all-inclusive to people that can hear what the channel is saying but can't read or write. And I've always said, even back in the days when this channel was run by a computerized voice, back about 4 years ago, it was to make sure that it was all-inclusive. And to this day, I still continue that, and I put a big emphasis on the people that are visually impaired or hearing impaired, and I think it's really important that we do include them. It's the way I was brought up, you know, and it's they're no different to us. They're just normal human beings. And Stephen is one of the Celtic family. Stephen is one of us, and we make sure that he knows that in every single video. And Michelle Shaw says they won't bring in players. We need early, so the chance we'll get Jota the board of disgrace. Look, forget the whole Jota thing. I don't think that will ever happen. People need to stop the Jota coming back. Creatures on the board, no chance. Stephen is in the house. Big shout out to Evan Sean saying that Stephen is in the house. Stephen does like me to read out all the comments. So if you wonder why I'm reading out the comments to Stephen, it's because he can't read them himself. And it's to make sure that he knows that he's getting as much love as possible from the Celtic family. Hail, hail, everyone says Cass. Michelle Shaw says hail, hail. Cass and Hazel. Nicholas in the house. Nicholas says, I hope we get the Polish boy who looked absolutely fantastic, I've got to say. Sooner rather than later, it's always the same with Celtic, last minute. Get the dough out now. Hail, hail, Baz, says Nicola. You know my thoughts on it, but I hope they do get. They're going to get him in anyway. The board have no ambition, says Joseph. Right, we need to get. And I was going to get the poll up. Nope, that's a Q&A. Give me 2 seconds. Tonight's poll. Going to get tonight's poll started early. Um, right, tonight's poll goes live. Let me just. Poll has started. The poll has started, and I'm going to jump back to the comments. Do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the player or players that he needs and wants? This is going to be an interesting one tonight. They're flying in the votes already. We're at 43, 61, 63. The poll is flying tonight. I'm going to keep doing this. It seems to be a really good way of keeping you all engaged. I wonder how many Celtic channels will copy this in coming weeks. I noticed that somebody's copying my thumbnails. It's always good being the number one. That's all I'm saying. Hello, Baz, you're late. I'm not late. I was 2 minutes late. I was 2 minutes late. I'm not even reading that anymore. Nicola, read that one. Hail, hail, says Hank. Nicola, I'm going to inscribe the screen. Gemma's in the house, Carly's in the house, Anglin Ayrshire's in the house, Michelle Shaw's in the house, Joseph Evening All, Scotia's in the house, John Milne's in the house, John O'Neill's in the house, Paul Bear's in the house, Mefew's in the house also. I never get that one right. MEFW. You need to change your name so it's something that's easy just to say. Tam Max in the house, Stephen Lafferty's in the house. Carly's in the house, no one is leaving. We'll wait and see. Kieran's in the house, evening all. Hope you're all good. Ewan Boy Martin's in the house. Plunge McNugget. Kieran Bogus is on the way. I'm here. I seen a thing this morning saying it was tracking his flight. And I think somebody's got too much time on their hands. It is not alcohol. Do not worry. I need to go on to this on the screen. Do not worry. It is not alcohol. It's Aquarius, which is running down my because it's wet. Unless the hand of God brings me a glass of wine. Hey, she's on it. She's on it. Yeah, no, that is it's similar to the stuff that the first team and everyone that was in the training camp in America. It's pretty similar to what they were drinking throughout the games. Anyway, Carly says no one's leaving. Ewan Bobby Barton's in the house, Punch McNuggets in the house, Lorna Gallagher's in the house, Carly's in the house, Tamax in the house. Joseph says it's getting to the stage where these top targets Brendan really after, or the board messing them about. Well, that's why I've done the poll. Do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the player, or it should be / players that he needs and wants? And I'm going to, there's 167, 170, 170 votes already, and it's 64% no. We'll see if we can get 500. Let's see if we can get 500 votes on this tonight. There's currently 487 people watching this live. Let's see if we can get to 500 votes tonight on this. Um, I wish we could get to some of the numbers that some of the big English channel gets on this, but it is Scottish football and it is Celtic, and we never seem to get the. I mean, we're doing fantastically well with over 500 people currently watching the video. If we can get up to 1,000 people watching live at any given minute, it would be fantastic, and it would give us a better indication of what the fan base does. So share this with your Celtic friends. Share the video. Text your mates right now. Get on and vote. Get on and vote, because I want to try and get this as a big as we can with Celtic fans and see how we really think. It's okay people having their say on Twitter. It's okay people having their say on YouTube. It's okay people are having their say on Facebook, and everybody can have a moan. But let's have a vote about it. Do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers, the player? It should be players. You can't actually edit, can you? I know you can only end poll. So I can't even go and edit. Apologies, I should have said players that he needs and wants. And it's currently 37% are yes, 63% are no, with 194 votes. 195, 196. So let's see if we can smash that 500, just like the transfer window smashes shut. Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye out for the qualifying playoffs of the first leg of the Europa, because Shamrock Rovers are getting beat. Shamrock Rovers are getting beat. Why we're talking about Shamrock Rovers is because there's a Celtic striker that's at Shamrock Rovers, I believe. But anyway, I want to keep a result. I want to keep an eye on the Hearts score. And Kilmarnock play Copenhagen. That's a massive one. It's fucked already for Kilmarnock. They're getting beat 2-0. Well, that's Kilmarnock's European dream come to an end, and and Hearts are getting beat 1-0. Fucking why do we even bother? Why do we bother? And do you know what? I don't give a fuck, because and people and see the people that say your language is terrible. This is YouTube. If you want BBC, if you want STV, and you want Sky Sports, go and watch that. This is real life. This is YouTube, and I don't apologise for my language, because it is being real. And if you want to be real on any platform, you tend to be yourself. And see all these fake people out there that are doing their shit. Who cares? If you don't like it, you don't need to be here. Anyway, when it comes to European football and Scottish football, when teams go into Europe and they have their little hurrah for a week or 2 weeks, and then they get put out of Europe, and then they go on to cut the allocation for Celtic fans. It's karma. Oh, wait a minute. The hand of God has entered the room. The hand of God has handed me a wine. The hand of God has spoken. It's got ice in it. She just bought it at the shop. See, this is what you do in Spain. Look, can you see that? Can you see the ice? And it's more governor before you ask. I don't like it as warm. It needs to be at the fridge. Governor used to be served at the fridge. Get too used to that in Spain. Let's jump back in the comments before we talk about the Celtic transfer that is going on tonight. There's 551 people on the live just now, and there is only 232 people voting. Get this sent out to everyone you know. Send a text to your mates saying, get on this live and vote. Do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the player or players he needs and wants to make Celtic better? Remember, Brendan Rodgers wants to make us better. He wants to make us more competable in Europe. He wants us to be able to compete in Europe. He wants to get better players in. He doesn't want a lot of these prospects coming in. He wants to spend £6 million on a player to make sure that we get people in that can make us make an impact, not just make an impact in Europe. I don't mean qualifying. I don't mean winning the Champions League. I mean just getting results. Getting 3 wins in Europe this season would be massive for Celtic. Absolutely massive. It would be absolutely massive for Celtic. So make sure that you get everyone on you can. There's been 244 votes. There's 577 people on the live at this exact moment. 246. The votes are slowing down. Get them in and get them phone. Raging Jim, the bear on the scoreboard. What was he raging about? Joseph says, it's getting to the stage. I've done that one. Sorry, Joseph. Hazel says, the next 7 days are going to be so long. All this waiting is driving me crazy. Please, Celtic, announce some good news. I'm relaxed at the prospect of selling our star players, says Ewan Boy Martin. So am I, actually. As long as we spend decent money on quality players to replace them. Exactly. Exactly. And I think the fact that we are looking at this guy in America at 8 million is setting the bar. Chaz says, I'm late. I was 2 minutes late starting, but there we go. Plunge McNugget says, I don't think Matt or Kyogo are leaving. I think that anybody will, and I don't think anybody will be coming in, says Plunge McNugget. Matthias Bogus looks decent. Listen, if you watch that video that I put out this afternoon with the goal that he scored last night, that was a goal and a half. The way that he he got away from the the player just outside the box. Now it was a cracking move because the midfielder, and hats off to the midfield player for the team that he plays for, because he actually made the run into the box that actually drove the defender further in. So it's obviously something that they've worked on in the training pitch. And the midfield player running into the box, you think, is he going to be the player that gets the ball? But not. He comes in with a curling ball from the outside of the box, and people will say the keeper should have got that all day long. No, he shouldn't have, because the way that the curl on that ball was fantastic. And I've never seen Matt O'Reilly put a curl on a ball like that. I think this player is the real deal, and if Celtic do get him, and what I'm hearing is, even if Matt O'Reilly is not sold, we are still going to get Matthias from America and bring him to Celtic. That's the news I'm hearing tonight, but I need to go back on and check everything else. Carly says, I think we're in for a pleasant surprise this season, Carly. I've been saying that for a couple of days now. Left back and centre back is a must. I think that is. Boys, don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be all right. We'll sign good players and we'll win the league with 100 points. I think that's one of the things, Celt 67, that Brendan Rodgers does want to benchmark this season. He has had the invincible season at Celtic. He wants to go one better. Brendan Rodgers wants to prove his doubters wrong, and to the doubters in the stand that hate him to this day, Brendan Rodgers wants to break records, and he wants to do more with Celtic than has ever been done before. He'll have to get us to a European Cup final if he wants to do that. But I think when it comes to domestic is domestic wise, I think he wants to break records again this year. Right, I'm going to jump through the comments. Apologies if I haven't. Lorna Gallagher, Chilpil. Jota's never getting 200 grand a week when he goes to France. Not a chance. He'll not be getting 200 grand anywhere. You need a light diffuser, Baz. I know. Do you know what I need to do? And I need to get a bit of light for the front because it's just down my head, and that's better. It's that light at the back. It was annoying. The missus has even moved out of this room because it's starting to look like a YouTube studio. Tam Mack says, by the way, I'm not glossing over the skirting boards. I'm only listening. I do speak loud, Baza. I only, if you're listening, do speak loud, Baza. Am I not speaking loud enough? Fuck off. And I would like Jota to return. I know it won't happen. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Lanky says, Matty Bogus will be playing for LAFC this weekend if they get to the final. Matthias, if he does play for them this weekend, he'll be on the first flight to Celtic Park on Monday morning. Happy Glosson Tam. I'm sorry. Sarah says Kyogo isn't going to City. I mean, his shoulder injury at some point needs surgery. Oops. Pardon me. It's starting to do my head in. We haven't sold anyone we want to keep. That is good news. the board have sold no one. The board haven't sold anyone, but we need to add to the speculation. We did ask everyone. There's been over 300 votes already. Over 300 votes. There's 631 people on the live. Make sure that you share this. Get all your mates on. Because the question that I want answered in the poll this evening from as many Celtic fans as we can, do you trust the Celtic PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the player/players that he needs and wants in this transfer window? That is the live poll. It's getting to the stage that we're going to do a live poll Monday through Thursday, every night of the week, because that's when we are live at 8 o'clock Celtic Park time. No is at 61%, and yes is only at 39%, 39%, 38%. It's going down. 62% saying no, they don't trust the board to get Brendan Rodgers the players he wants. A lot of love going out to Stephen. Stephen, cool man. Stephen, lots of love to Stephen. I'll run through them, Stephen, just for you. Chill Pill, got love hearts for you. Gary, hail hail everyone. Good man Stephen. Andrew, hail hail Stephen. Hail hail Baz from Port Glasgow. Hail hail Stick. Big Paul Maguire, big love hearts to Stephen. Big love to Stephen from Lorna. Michelle Shaw, Stephen. There's lots of love to you, Stephen. As always, Peter King. Baz, who's staying and who's going? At this point, Celtic have been very, very secretive, but we are trying to find out as much as we can this evening. Jason Scott says the Rangers are shite. Yes, we all know that. Thomas says, hail hail to Stephen from Derry. Jostler's yesterday the news strips is that Jota take nearly 40 grand a week after making money on the year. Yes, Jota will drop down his wages to around about 45 grand a week, and I think it's something. A lot of love for Stephen. Craig, Kevin, hail hail guys. Craig says hail hail Stephen pal. Told you don't panic until the window ends. It's looking good. Henke's in the house. Hail hail Stephen. Lots and lots of love for you coming out, Stephen. And I love that because it is all about making this channel all inclusive to everyone. And if anyone has any kind of impairments or anything that wants to watch the channel that needs subtitles on the channel, we'll try and get that sorted out also, to make it as all inclusive as we can. Give my heart is set on this Polish kid. He looks the business, says Kieran. After that goal that he scored last night, I think he's a better player than Matt O'Reilly. And I'll say that now. And I did say, look, give it 2 months' time. Let's get to November, right? And say we get this Polish dude in, right? Say we get the Polish dude in, and he scores 5 goals and he has 5 assists by October till the international break. People are going to then go, Matt who? And it's the way that Celtic fans are. We are a fickle bunch as fans. We want our best players to stay. But in reality, we also want our best players to be sold. Sack the board, says Carly. Sack the board. There has been 332 votes. It has slowed down a bit. There's 609 people on, which is fantastic. There's been 1,626 people viewed the video already. Sack the board. Hail, hail, Stephen. I'm going to jump right through to the end of the comments now. Gordon says, me and the kids will be watching the transfer this week on holiday. Big statement that, Baz. That's bound to be clipped. Of course it will. Of course it will. Matt O'Reilly will almost be impossible to replace, says Chilpill. Not a fucking chance. Nobody says ever that Henrik Larsson couldn't be replaced. No way. Not a chance. No, I want Matt to stay. Never, says Lorna. Why have other teams not gone for the... Because maybe they don't know about him. Maybe Celtic are trying to jump the gun and get in there. You never know. Leaving it this late, what's new? Hey, well, exactly. We've lost Larsson. Exactly. Are you trying to tell me that Matt O'Reilly was better than Larsson? No chance. Nobody says that we couldn't replace Larsson. It wasn't about replacing Larsson. As a brilliant... listen, let's talk serious about this. It's about bringing in the next generation of Celtic players. And by mean generation, it's about the next conveyor belt. Matt O'Reilly is good, but he's not irreplaceable. He's not irreplaceable. Come on, Matt. Oh, the missus is texting me. 2 seconds. Oh, what an idiot. Someone hired. What a fud. Someone hired a speedboat with that looks like one of these Lamborghinis on water, and he drove it right into one of the ferries. What a fanny! What a fanny! Um, right, I'm closing down Facebook. Don't need to see that. Let's jump back onto this. Zhead says, I personally think that it will be Celtic's bigger transfer market. Matt O'Reilly and Kyogo will be sold with better quality coming in. We never know who and where they might come in from. Listen, see when you brought in Matt O'Reilly from MK Dons, nobody, absolutely nobody says that, my God, we're signing one of the best fucking players that's ever going to be at Celtic. We're signing a player that is going to be worth 25 million and he's going to rule the roost at Celtic. No one ever said that. Not one Celtic fan. And if you did, you were lying. Nobody, when they seen Matt O'Reilly, had the exact same feeling as when they first seen Callum McGregor play his very first his game for Celtic, and go, do you know what? This young lad could actually be a player for us. Nobody said that about Matt O'Reilly. So let's stop living in the moment and let's just face up to facts that Matt O'Reilly is an asset of the club, and we will sell him and we will maximise our income from him. But we'll be able to get another player in that is just as good, if not better. That's why Brendan Rodgers has taken over the whole looking for players. Other Mats will come, says Carly. Yep, exactly. But will other Kyogos come? Well, we've had Lee Griffiths in the past. We've had Odson Edward, Musa Dumbelly, Mark Burchill. Imagine naming Mark Burchill in the same breath as those players. But Mark Burchill came through the system. Mark Burchill came through the system. I never knew Barkas in Egypt before. Yeah. We never knew Barkas or Ajeti. Lanky, wait a minute, Baz. Last year I said Matt O'Reilly would be best player. But I also said that there was a defender, Liam Scales, that would be her most improved player. And he was. And he was our most improved player. So, do you know, of course he was going to be better than our best player because we lost to Aaron Moy. If Aaron Moy had stayed his final year, here's a permutation for you, right? If Aaron Moy had stayed that final year of his contract, would Matt O'Reilly have got the opportunities that he did get to play last season? Tell me yes or no in the comments. If Matt O'Reilly had still had to chase the coattail of the one and only Aaron Moy, tell me either yes or no. If Aaron Moy was still at Celtic for that final year of his contract, remember Aaron Moy cancelled his contract a year early, would the one and only have been a better player? Raheem Sterling and says Lanky, the badge on the front will always be bigger than the name on the back. Yes, big loss, Aaron Moy, says Paul Maguire. Nope, exactly. Never a truer word said. Matt O'Reilly, an assist and a chance to take when he signed. Yep. Nope. Yes, Baz. No. Squads are so big, it feels something that is not actually a fair chance by Brendan. Someone not given a fair chance by Brendan. You can't say that because the squad is the same size as it was under Ange Postecoglou. So you can't say that. Probably not. Exactly. Do you know, Aaron Moy was quality, said Zedhead. Exactly. So I mean, everyone's agreeing. The fact that we're now getting 25 million for Matt O'Reilly should be applauded by the board and by Brendan Rodgers. Our wingers turned up last season, and Matt wouldn't have had contributed goals if our wingers had turned up. Yes, I think so. Potentially was higher due to his age. Yeah, Matt's potential is in his age. That's where the money comes from. Do you know? I mean, we're all good saying that we're going to get the best part of 20 million for Kyogo, but that's because he is on a four-year deal. So anyway, fair point, Baz. Moy was a cracking player, exactly, and that's all I'm here to do. I'm just here on this side of the TV screen, this side of your phone, to put these things out there. You know, it's all fine saying, you know, we all absolutely love Matt O'Reilly as a player. But let's not forget, he took his opportunity and he took it well. And Lanky's right. The fact that the wingers never turned up last season, and the winger that came to the fore at the end of the season was the one and only James Forrest. James Forrest, the player who was written off by many Celtic fans. James Forrest, the player that was told online by so many Celtic fans, look, Jamesy boy, your time's up. Just move on. Go and enjoy your retirement at another club. He was the one that came in and absolutely had a fantastic end to the season. It's unbelievable that people think that there's no life after Matt O'Reilly. Of course there is. There was life before him and there'll be life after. I would sell Palma and buy better, says your boy Martin. I wouldn't get anything close to 20 million for Kyogo, says Chilpil. I don't think that Manchester City will put an actual bid in for him, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, let's jump back to the poll. Do you think that the PLC will get Brendan Rodgers, the player, should have been slash players he needs and wants before the end of the transfer window? 63% of 392 people. We are trying to get to 500 votes for this evening. There's 656 people on the live right now. There's been over 2,000 people on the live, but we've only had 395 votes. Make sure that you vote on the poll on the screen in the chat so that we can get a bigger picture from the Celtic fans and what the Celtic fans really, really think. Because I think it's the Emperor will replace Kyogo. Who will be the Emperor? I wonder if there will be an Emperor that will replace Kyogo. I think anyone that comes in will, the one and only Adam Ida, turn around and go, Danielson, Danielson, you've done well. Will he be the one and only Emperor? Emperor Dyson Kawasaki. Will he be? Well, there's one that we haven't thought. And Brendan Rodgers has said that there's the possibility that he could be a third choice striker. What if the impossible was about to happen at Celtic and Dyson Maeda was going to be your number one striker, fighting it out with the one and only Adam Ida for top spot this position to be absolutely number one striker at Celtic? Unbelievable turn of events. Unbelievable turn of events. That would be people saying that Brendan Rodgers is not giving players a chance, takes the one and only Dyson, who's been a winger. He's been a winger at Celtic since the one and only legend Ange Postecoglou came into Celtic and made him a winger. He was a striker for his national team. What if Brendan Rodgers turns him back to a striker at Celtic and he goes on to score 30 goals this season? Then, if we're sitting with 20 million in the bank for Kyogo, people will say, Kyogo, who the fuck's Kyogo? Absolutely fantastic. That's something that we haven't thought about either. 415 votes. We are getting closer to the target that's set of over 500 votes. We want to try and get to 500 votes. 659 people. Send messages to your mates. Send the video to your mates. Get everyone on this video tonight. Maeda can't cross a ball. He can't cross a ball, but if you put him in the middle, and you've got James Forrest coming down the wing, and you've got Kuhn coming down the other wing, and if you've got Mateus sitting just behind them that can put in a fantastic ball, and you've got Dyson running through the middle of the defence to every team in Scotland. Happy days. Happy days. Zedhead says, your views to the poll are mighty impressive. But that's good. That's good. I've got 422 on the poll this evening. There is 659 now. There's been over 2,264 people on the live so far. Right, Maida plays striker and Tavernier will go into hiding. We have a striker in the wing. We have a striker on the wing. If he scores that many, the board will sell him. Of course they will. Jota on the wing. Dyson definitely getting switched to striker, says Carly. The board, well, I think the board will do what the board normally does. And Kyogo can't afford to get surgery. If he went to Man City, yeah, Scotty, well, I don't know what I said. So I think that if Kyogo does go to Man City, he's going to be playing on the wing. He's not going to be playing as a striker. He's going to be. He's not. I'm not even going to talk about it. Apparently, Tev has sent him a signal for the 1st of September. Kyogo is out injured after 3 games, but sorry, it was avoidable. This was avoidable, says Brown Warrior. Was it avoidable? I said, Brown Warrior, I'm going to say, go back to the videos of pre-season where everyone said I was having a moan. And remember I did a video when Celtic were this close to a crisis scenario at Celtic. Celtic were this close to a crisis scenario. And once again, I think that I've not been far off the mark because I said, if Matt O'Reilly is sold and Kyogo is injured, because the first game of the season, or the second game of the season, a defender shoulder charged Kyogo. Kyogo goes down and his shoulders put out and he's out for 3 or 4 weeks, or 5 weeks, or 6 weeks, however long it takes. We are then in crisis mode. Kilmarnock are still getting beat 2-0 in the Europa. I'm trying to see the Hearts score. Shamrock Rovers are getting beat 4-0. Hearts are getting beat 1-0. It's not looking good for Scottish coefficient, but it is what it is. But anyway, when it comes, I did say there was a video called two something just away from crisis, and it's coming to effect. The fact that we're about to sell Matt O'Reilly and Kyogo, if he's not out injured, he's about to be sold, and people will target him. Could it have been avoided? Was Brown Warriors? Brown Warrior said this was This was avoidable, says Brown Warrior. I don't think it was. If it was avoidable, we would have had to take him off towards the end of the last season and put him in to get the operation in May, so that he was ready for the start of this season. If he doesn't leave Celtic just now, and he goes in for an operation at any point in this season, he's going to be out for 4 months. I was proven right during the summer, and my comment stands. Baz, just that. I'm missing some comments. Sorry, the comments are coming in that fast. I've just missed a whole load of comments. And it's like, Baz, there's more chance of you wearing a wig. I'll never wear a wig than Kyogo going to City. I shaved my head to make sure that I didn't wear a wig. I could grow hair, but I didn't want to. I could grow hair if I want. See, I've told you before, I've told you all this before. See that feeling that you get when you put the shaving foam over your head and you get the fucking Gillette fucking 5 and you just. There's nothing better. See when it smooths in and you go out into that sunshine, you're like, oh, you're a dancer. You've had a clean shave. There's nothing better. Nothing better. Lanky says, the famous moan. We don't forget about it. Exactly. Lanky, that famous moan. Right, I apologise. I'm going to jump through a lot of your comments. John Mullins says, the games are done. The Rovers are pish. Yep. Hearts and Killie games ended. Hearts ended 1, Killie ended 2. Well, that's it, done and dusted then, isn't it? That's them out of Europe. That's them pretty much out of Europe. Gillette is the best Baz can get. No, it's not. It's the missus. It's the missus. I need to say that. Everyone needs to say that. Sunshine Baz. What's sunshine? McGowan to Celtic is done deal. Apparently, says Liam. I've not even went on to. Right, let me just go to. Oh, a shitload of notifications. So, latest. Oh, there's one bit of news that is coming out. Millwall. I did read that earlier. And Man United. Oh, I don't need that story. Liverpool. Liverpool are after Dara O'Shea. Liverpool are after Dara O'Shea. Seen that. But there's one bit of news coming out of Millwall. Millwall are upset with Celtic. Now, are Celtic trying to do the dirty on Millwall and get Daniel Kelly to sign a new contract? Because Millwall have been left frustrated by the delays caused by Celtic to sell Daniel Kelly to the Championship club. The 18-year-old midfield player is on the cusp of joining the Championship this summer. He's penned a pre-contractual agreement. A deal was being in place with the two clubs, and Kelly underwent a medical to sign the contract with Millwall on Tuesday. He passed that medical. However, the Championship club are yet to announce the arrival due to the delays from the Celtic end. It's been claimed that Millwall have been left frustrated by Celtic dragging their feet with the paperwork to get the deal done and dusted. Is it the case that Celtic are far too busy trying to get players in and sell players for real money? Because let's face it, we're only going to get 400,000 for Daniel Kelly, so that can go to the back of the queue as far as the Celtic people that are doing all the work at the back office are concerned. That can go at the back of the queue. If we're going to get 25 million, well, we need to get the paperwork done for this one first. If we're going to get 20 million for Kyogo, Daniel Kelly, your 400,000 paperwork gets pushed away back. And if Celtic are about to spend £8 million on a player coming from America, well, that says that the Daniel Kelly one will get pushed back even further. With 646 people currently on the live, we are at 483 votes, 484. We're trying to get to 500 votes this evening. Make sure you do give the video a thumbs up. There's only 257 thumbs up. Kelly can get to fuck. Yep. Craig then says, sounds like Lagerbielke's situation all over again in midfield. It's an interesting one, though, because what if Celtic turn around and managing to do a deal with Daniel Kelly at the very last minute? Will Celtic fans open their arms up to Daniel Kelly? If that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Kelly's da has the boy should have been sold to Millwall. Kelly's dad had a word. No way the boy should have been sold to Millwall. You never know. You never know. Ah, Jesus, it's all coming out. Anyway, we are sitting on 493 votes. This will be the biggest poll that we've done on the channel so far. The question was, do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers, the player /players he needs and wants before the end of the transfer window? And over 495 of you have spoken so far. So over 660 people still in the live. If you're joining the live right now, make sure that you vote. 61% do not trust the PLC to get the players that Brendan Rodgers wants and needs, and only 39% say yes. Free Palestine says, Baz, I was out with the dog there and just listened to my earphone. I swear I was listening to Spud from Trainspotting every now and then. That's because I'm for the East Coast. And that's it's when I tend to talk on this, it's like the East Coastness of me comes out now and again. Let Kelly go. Forget Kelly. Yep, move on. Cheers, Dave. Cheers, Dave. What the fuck? Kelly has made his mind up. Get him to fuck. We've moved on. Yep, Millwall or pish. Daniel Kelly. His buying average at best. Apparently, Man City have submitted an 18 million bid for Kyogo, and Celtic are wanting 22. Well, Celtic were only wanting 20 yesterday. So, Scott, where are you getting that from? We'll just do a couple of checks. Update this. There's not a lot. Stephen Robinson, I'm going to X. Interesting. Austin, this is coming out of. I need to get this one. Austin Trusty opens up on Sheffield United ambitions after being linked with Celtic move. He's basically saying that everyone at Sheffield United this season is geared towards instant Premier League return. The USA defender has been linked with a transfer at Scottish Giants Celtic's 26-year-old blah, blah, blah. He hasn't discussed Celtic. It's another article in it. Give me a second, I was just reading this. It's fuck all. It's a nothing article. Joseph. Yeah, Sheffield United. The thing is this deal with Sheffield United for Mikey Johnston. I mean, everyone was talking about Burnley this morning and Lanky. I thought you said it was done deal. You said this morning, where's Lanky? Is he on? He'll be on. Lanky, you said this morning, Paul Bear says no bid's been submitted. Yeah. No bid's been submitted for Kyogo. Wait a minute. That's coming up a Celtic site. It's shite. Um, Right, anyway, we're at 60% for no. We are at 530 votes. We've actually done more votes than what we wanted to do tonight. It was just fantastic. Keep the votes coming in. Let's see if we can get as many votes as we can, considering there's been 2,896 people on this live. Let's see if we can get to 600 or 700 votes. There's 668 people still on the live. I'm trying to find out information about. I've just been asked if it's true about the deal for Kyogo. But the one with Mikey Johnson, Lanky said this morning that Burnley, it was basically a done deal, and that Mikey Johnson was going to Burnley for 5 million on a 4-year deal. But the breaking news is the breaking news 4 hours ago. Sky Sports that Sheffield United are in talks to sign the Celtic winger Mikey Johnston, which would also go along with the story that broke earlier today about Austin Trusty, Trusty, Krusty the Clown. Somebody will call him Krusty the Clown. Let's hope they don't call him Krusty the Clown. But Celtic are interested in the American-born defender, so it looks like that story was right after all. Right, there's 541 votes. We're still going. There's 645. Loving the amount of people on the live this evening. No bid has been submitted, says Paul Baird. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well. Congratulations, Baz. Tell me like it is. The other channels, Panic Merchants, Doom. I think Celtic have everything under control transfer-wise. I think that Celtic are playing a very, very clever game. Very, very clever game. Do you know, I don't watch other channels, so I can only apologise for being ignorant about what they're saying. But I think that I did say things will happen. Things will happen, and Celtic will come out better. But as it stands, we're on a knife edge. We are on a knife edge. We're on the cusp of something either fantastic at Celtic, or people are going to see it as an absolute nightmare. With 546 votes, we're sitting at 60% no and 40% yes. Do you trust the Celtic PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the player or players that he needs and wants before the end of the transfer window? And I think this is going to be one of their best polls yet. I want to try and get it up to well over 600, 700. So if you haven't voted and you're just on the live, make sure that you do. 5 million for Mikey Johnson, did I hear? Yeah, that was the shout this morning. But their defender, the Sheffield Wednesday defender, is roughly about the same price. So is it going to be a swap deal? Is it going to be a cash plus swap deal for Mikey Johnson? We'll wait and see. That's me printed the whole skirting. Yes. And I'm still humming and hawing, says Tarmac. Have I been on that long that you've painted the whole skirting boards? Jesus. It's been an exciting night for you, Tam. I don't know what's worse, watching paint dry or listening to me on YouTube. Mikey's a brilliant player, worth every penny. Of course he is. And it's the Celtic way. The less I talk about them, the better. They're all journalists, and they're all paid by a company. They don't own the YouTube channel. They're paid journalists that work. And you go and Google the Celtic way is run by a company that also has a Rangers channel, the Rangers Review, and the Rangers website. They own both of them, and they're just employees. So that's why I don't even want to talk about them. Any of them. Anyway, I admire your optimism, says Danny Boy. I am always optimistic about Celtic, mate. I've never changed. I am still as enthusiastic as I was when I was busking Fina at the Joseph Rafferty Celtic Supporters Club. About a good few years ago now. And if anybody had told me, and I've said this before, if you told me when I was sitting in Celtic Park at the end of February 2020 that it would be very rarely that I'd be back to Celtic Park, I would have said, you're fucking having a laugh. Not a chance. But anyway, there's a rumour that if Brendan isn't backed, then he's going to walk. Heard anything? No, not a chance. Mark, not a chance. Stop that nonsense. Stop it. Right now. Brendan will not walk this summer, right? Let's put this out there. Brendan wants to achieve. We're repeating ourselves. It's nonsense. Let's just cut that nonsense right out. Johnson says gives 2 million for Sheffield United boy, and Johnson and they give us 2 million. That would be a good deal if we give them Mikey Johnson and we get 2 million, and we get the defender. Brendan won't walk, says Kieran. Not at all. Not at all. Whoever's saying that is talking nonsense, and it's probably Huns hoping. Let's face it, it's probably Seth Conian fans hoping that Brendan Rodgers walks and we bring in. I'm not even going to say it. Not a chance, because he can't come back for a third time. And Rodgers we trust, says Liam. In comes Paul Baird at this point. I better get a drink before this. Celtic Mad. Celtic Mad. Welcome to One Celtic. That can't be Celtic Mad. The Celtic Mad channel. No, it's not. Welcome to the channel, Celtic Mad. Welcome to the channel. You tell him, Baz. Exactly. Anybody that doesn't have... And do you know what... No, I knew what's it. Come on, guys, subscribe to the One Celtic Fans View. How many subscribers are we sitting on tonight? Anyway, 18,222, which isn't bad considering I've turned off subscriber only. I think if I turn back on subscriber only to the chat, it might make a bit of a difference. But I would rather get in as many people as possible, especially for the polls that we're doing, because I think it's important. With 580 votes, 60% say no, 40% say yes. Do you trust that the PLC will get Brendan Rodgers the player or players that he needs and wants before the end of the transfer window? I think it's good to stay all inclusive to everyone and not just subscribers. How many players do we need and do we think will come in? I've said for a couple of weeks now we need 5 players. If Matt O'Reilly leaves, we need around about 6 players. I think we will get in 5 players. Brendan Rodgers, Fenian Army, exactly. I think we will get in 5 players. If Kyogo leaves, it'll be 6. It'll be 6 players because I think Celtic will go out and buy a third choice striker. Now, they're not going to go out and break the bank and bring in a first choice striker. They've got that with Adam Ida, right? They've got that with Adam Ida. They've got it with Dyson Maida, right? They've got it with Dyson. They'll be your first 2 choice strikers. Celtic, however, will go out and spend money on a third choice striker to make sure that we have backup. Something today has been is in the house quite late tonight. Evening troops. What time is it? It's nearly 10 o'clock here. It's nearly 9 o'clock back home. Where have you been? 2,000 before you go, Baz. 2,000 before 20,000 before you know it, Baz. Says Hoopy 67. 20,000. Well, here's hoping. I'm trying to get to 20,000 before December. We've got. This is only August, so we've got a couple of months. And I will keep on putting the work in, day out, to make sure that we try and give some of the best content. I will not say that this is the best Celtic content channel whatsoever, but there's a few channels that have copied things that I do, thumbnails, the look of the channel and stuff like that. But anyway, who cares? It's always good being first. Kyogo may finally play regular for Japan, says Paddy Power. That's not the official Paddy Power channel. Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. It's not the official go to channel. No, 5 subscribers. You nearly got me there. Lorna Gallagher says, evening something today. Ian McIntosh says, 31% says absolute brain dead fans. 39% say yes. 61%. You can't say that about our fans, man. Baz, give us the drink of Huntiers. Wait a minute. I need to get this one on. I've managed to can it. Aquarius. It's even in a blue tin. It comes. Drink Huntiers in a tin. Something nice about drinking Huntiers. It's refreshing. It is refreshing. And then it has to be done with a little bit of the governor that came in from the hand of God. Now that's good. That is good. The governor is good. It's a Spanish wine from Mercadona, which is unbelievably cheap. If I told you the price of it, you would probably choke. For me, Paddy Power. Left foot, the new water. My Discovery Channel. Late to the show, hail for Canada. Awesome. The channel is awesome, Baz. Big shout out to Canadians. A special big shout out to the Canadians, because if you remember the video, and I am going to do this once a month. I'm going to do a video showing the countries that tend to watch the channel the longest views in the last 28 days. It has been the Canadians. So hats off to the Canadian Celtic supporters who watch the channel longer than people from Ireland, longer than people from Scotland, and longer from people from Spain, who then come in. I think they come in about third or fourth. But hats off. I love the Canadians. But yeah, we will do that once a month, probably the first week of the month or something. And we'll do the stats on where everyone watches this channel, because, like I say at the end of every video, it is all about the Celtic supporters all around the world. And I'm glad that Celtic took notice of that and started using it as well. Anyway, if Kyogo goes, I think he won't get a game. He will get a game. He'll get a game as a winger, Mark. They want him as a winner, as a winger. Paddy Power, you owe me money. It says Hoopy 67. It's like the Wild West on here. He says, Ian, it is like the Wild West. I love this. I love the chat on this channel. Right, we're sitting at 618. Big shout out to everyone that's voted. 618. Let's get to 700. The viewers are going down slightly. We seem to peak around about 640 viewers. Get your mates on. There's still time to vote. We've got we've got minutes left. Let's see if we can get to 700 votes, 620 votes. No chance. No getting my location. Don't Orange Club Biscuit. Don't Everest Orange Club Biscuit. I don't eat orange club biscuits. I don't eat anything orange. If we get a packet of sweeties and it's got orange or blue sweets in it, like anything, she's like, "Well, I'll pick them out for you." I'm like, "Yeah." Don't even go there. It's like anything orange or blue just does not exist in this house. Apart from maybe t-shirts, blue t-shirts. I'm not that sad. A drink from Tavernier would be disappointing. Hail Hail from Coventry Emerald. The Coventry Emerald bus is an absolute cracker of a bus. Coventry Emerald, the old 313 coming out of Liverpool. That was a cracking bunch of guys as well. So hats off to Martin Jock Johnson from the Coventry Emerald bus. A lot of the guys for the Coventry Emerald bus used to sit in section 111. Nicholson out. Nicholson out. You need to watch the time, Baz. The wife will be Ben with the goods, the cocoa in a minute. She'll not be through with the cocoa. It's we're on. Well, she's on holiday now. She's on holiday, so it's like woohoo, fucking holiday time. We're sitting at 627 votes. Come on, if you haven't voted, please do get on your text and vote your mates. What's happening to Greg Taylor contract? I don't think Greg Taylor is overly worried about what's happening with his contract because he knows that it's an important time at Celtic. Celtic have got a lot of business to get done. As soon as the transfer window does close, Greg Taylor will sign a brand new contract with Celtic. There's no need to worry about that. I don't think that Greg Taylor will not go and sail on a yacht, says Stephen. No thanks. Just in case. Just in case. I won't go sailing on a yacht. Especially when you... Here she comes. What's this? Oh, wait a minute. Wait till I get... I need to go into this. What's this? The hand of God's giving me tuna. Fresh tuna. What's she giving me tuna for this time then? What? Tuna steak. Don't say that you'll get things on this channel that you'll realistically get on no other channel. And especially the missus coming in and giving me a tuna steak. It's fucking good though. Fresh tuna. Wow. There you go. Right, we are sitting on. We're going to tie the video up because we are dropping down in numbers. We're sitting at 637 votes. 605 people still on. Probably the majority of them have voted. Something fishy about that. Tell me about it. It's cooked. I like my tuna raw. Yeah, she likes to well season it and cook it like a steak. Good chat. I'm not going anywhere. Baz, you're spoiled, says Joseph. Mukbanging channel now. Mukbang channel now. Mukbang channel. Looks amazing. Only in Spain. Yep. Is that bubblegum? No. Buy. With money in the bank. Sell. Buy. No money in the bank. Yeah. The Huns are getting handed a plate of spam. I need to finish this tuna. This will probably just get rid of a load of folk off the. We're sitting at 57 minutes that the vote has been going on. 638. Considering there's been over 3,500 people on the live. Wait till I eat my tuna steak. What does she want? Nothing. She's just looking after me. She's on holiday now. By the way, remember you went mental with our own guys, says Stephen John. Mental with who? Mental with who? With either tricolours, orange barrels in it. Ah, of course. Florida orange. Florida orange scoosh? I grow oranges in my garden, mate. An hand of God. passes some through some through the TV. Baz can eat food. Baz eating cat food. I'm eating cat food. Yeah, I'm eating cat food. Love spam. Can't get sliced spam. Right, you're all talking nonsense now. Let me jump back onto here and see if there's any late Celtic news. And matter. You've got to love the Scottish media, right? You've got to love the Scottish media. We all know that James McCarthy has left the building. Is that right? Give me a yes in the comments. We all know that James McCarthy has left the building. Lorna, I need to go. Catch you all tomorrow. Take care, troops. Lorna, you're away. Good night. Yeah, everyone's crashing off. Night, Lorna. I'll keep this bit for tomorrow's video. In fact, do you know what? Now that it's done and dusted, go and have a rant. Go and read this. Go and read this and have a rant. Prediction: 3 permanent signings, 2 loans, with options to buy. Right. On that note, we need to end the poll with 653 votes. 653 votes. Do you trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers and the players he needs and wants? 60% said no, and 39%. We always lose the 1%. YouTube always seems to lose 1%. 60% said no, they do not trust the PLC to get Brendan Rodgers the players wants. 39% says yes, with over 654 votes. It's been one of the most successful polls that we've ever done, with over 3,645 views on the live this evening in the space of an hour. It is a fantastic, absolutely fantastic amount of people, and I absolutely love every single one of you, and I mean that. I mean every single one. The Polish guy on his plane from LA, well, that was put out on Twitter today, but I'm not going to. 39% was loyal because of pal for a quick vote. Yep, we'll wait and see. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching the videos tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm sure there'll be some breaking news in the morning regarding Celtic and Celtic transfer players. There's nothing being official tonight. Nothing made official. The Scotsman are saying James McCarthy's going to leave Celtic. Daniel Kelly's going to leave Celtic. Rio Hitati's going to leave Celtic. Kyogo's going to leave Celtic. Gustav Lagerbielke is going to leave Celtic. Matt O'Reilly's going to leave Celtic. And Mark Nobrovsky's going to leave Celtic. Matthew Anderson's going to leave Celtic. Mikey Johnson, Yoki Kobayashi, just to name a few. We all know that some of them are true. And one, and only player, has left the club already. Down to you and the wife, bud. Yeah, is that anybody can be replaced? Well, I hope not. Well, they can, because then they just go and watch other channels, but I hope you don't. Anyway, good night. God bless. Have a fantastic evening wherever you are, to all the Celtic fans all around the world. And I do mean that, every single one that watches from around the world. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Thank you to the 18,225 subscribers that we do have already. And on that note, have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world. I love it. I need to finish off with a drink.